Hello and welcome to My Life on Paper. I am Brianna, and today is Mad About Mini Paper Pads, where we take our mini paper pads and we make a layout, and it is also Follow a Sketch February. So this is the sketch. It is by Ashley Smith for Scrap Room blogspot.com. I'm going to be using two different paper pads. One is 6x6 and the other one is 8x8. We can use anything that's smaller than a 12x12. So the 6x6 is Carnival. It is by Colorbach. I got it, I believe, at Walmart. And the other one I got at Hobby Lobby, and it is the 8x8, and it is just the basics. So it's a lot of colors with different designs. At first I was thinking I was going to use this in just keep it in the 6x6, but I only had 3 of the pattern papers of the same kind. And I knew I wanted to do that framed border around the whole page. That is something I don't often do. So I am just making strips, and I'm trying to match them up as best as I can. I will be the first to admit it's not going to, definitely not work all the way around the page. But because of the layering of papers and everything else that's going on, I don't think you're going to notice. So, well, and then like on the bottom, of course, it's not going to match up exactly. So I'm overlapping, again, trying to pay attention to making the most subtle overlapping that I can. Down below, you'll find everyone that's playing along with Mad About Mini Paper Pants. They'll be listed. And then there is a playlist for Follow a Sketch February, and that's for all month long. So you'll find a whole bunch of videos there, and you'll see takes on all the different sketches. And then don't forget, come back often to see all my videos, but don't forget that in March is Christy's Beautiful Life and her 30 Days of Sketches, and those are exclusive sketches, so that's always a fun one as well. I should tell you about the photos. So up in the left you can see there's like the curtain with the stage, and then myself and my husband Daryl. We went to see Craig Ferguson. If you don't know who he is, oh gosh, I don't know where he's from. Guys, I'll have to look this up. But he was on like the Late Late Show for a while. He was also on the Drew Carey Show, which was a very long time ago. But he's on other things. He's done a game show, different things. But we went to see him. It was a stand-up comedy show, which we enjoyed. So these are the 2 pictures from that night. And the fact that it takes me so long to take these strips of paper to go around a 12x12 paper is the reason this video is over 17 minutes long. That's unusual for me, especially when I've sped it up so much. But I will get these all secured down, and then you see I got to move it like it doesn't line up. Oh my goodness gracious. So I'll get them all I'll get them all lined up, and then I will trim off those end pieces. My hope with my channel is that I provide you with some positivity and maybe something new that you hadn't thought of before. That's the thing that excites me about watching others' videos, is that I will see something that and this happens a lot. I was like, boy, why didn't I think of that? So if there is something that you think that I can explain more or that you're interested in, please let me know below. All right, so we've got from the same paper pad these yellow pieces, and I thought these would be a good choice to go for the kind of the inside of the paper because of the small print, small pattern, and there's a little bit of white in it too, so it's nice and light, but I think it allows for the overlapping part where it's not so noticeable. And once I get that yellow paper laid out so that I feel like I've got the good border around the outside, they're straight, I am going to use my ATG adhesive and then get those stuck down so that they don't move around. So I do go and make sure that like each of the edges is pretty secure. I had a thin scrap of paper with this red. I like the way that is going to go across the page. So then I'm going to trim out another piece of that same red pattern paper, um, so that it spans the whole cross of the page, the whole length of the page. I am going to cut this photo down. Now the photos on the sketch are smaller than mine, and I didn't want to trim down the curtained stage at all, because it's framed so nicely. I didn't want to lose any of that, so I did trim down the picture of Daryl and I. There was some extra space that didn't need to be there, and so it really fits nice across. Even though I normally have like everything's pretty like what's the word I want, where like if it's one size on one side, it's going to be the same on the, so they're equal. And but I'm liking the way this is looking, even though the one photo is smaller than the other. That does not bother me at all. So this is the other paper pad. This is the basics from the Paper Studio pad, and it's the 8x8. So it makes a nice width for this page, the sketch, but I need it longer than the 8 inches. So I'm just going to take a little bit off of that one page pattern paper and then use it for layering. And that's going to layer under the photos. So there's no worry there that you're going to see that seam. I also want to mention to anybody that's coming over from Follow Sketch February that hasn't seen Mad About Mini Paper Pads yet, this would not be a normal way for me to use my paper pad. I think it's great. I think it turns out wonderful. And there's nothing wrong with this. The reason I say that is normally something that I would, so Mad About Mini Paper Pads, we choose our own layout, and I'm not going to wallpaper the page, you know what I mean? I'm going to use a white background. I'm not going to frame it. So it's interesting that this sketch comes up in that I'm doing all these things that I just normally wouldn't do for mini paper pads, which is a good thing, right? You don't always want to be doing the same thing. And it's good to try other things, because then, because then you continue to learn, and that's what it's all about. So I'm showing you which tags I'm thinking about. Those are both kind of a green, but I'm looking for ones that don't have pink on them. And all of the other tags have some kind of pink on them. I'm not saying that pink doesn't end up on my layout. It's just not part of that background paper. And so I was trying to steer away from it. So, and there's a little bit on the branding strip that I cut off, and I use it as a layering piece, and it says free time on it, which fits. This was our free time. I do look at that. So so you had seen me point to the other, like the green with the orange tag, and I decide, because they're going to be layered next to each other, to go for this yellow one. And I'm not sure if it's next or not, but I do only use the tops of these tags because you won't see the rest of it. And so then I can save the almost like square part on the bottom for another layout. That works well. Here is what I call my expensive hole puncher. It's a crocodile, and it works good. If you don't know what eyelets are, let me know. I can get out my eyelets and show you. But this crocodile works wonderfully with eyelets, which I don't often use, and then hole punches very easily as well. So there you're seeing me trim off the top so that I can save the bottom of the tag for something else in another layout. Those were crafting tags. I don't often, this is not a good thing, but I don't often scrapbook. Maybe I'll do one layout of each crop I go to a couple times a year. So I'm not doing a lot of crafting layouts, so it's okay that I'm using this tag, the tag tops for this. Oh, and I have some washi stickers, and I put that little butterfly next to the free time layering bit. I'm not sure where I got these washi stickers from, but I have quite a few to use. And I thought, okay, so I found that big, it's like a house, but I thought more of a, we went to a theater, and the colors just matched so well, so I just had to use that. And then I thought, well, since I have the theater on the bottom left corner, I grabbed a little house to put in the right cluster up there, but those stickers don't uh, end up there. Oh, I think these are American Crafts, and I got these, I think it was a peachy cheap, so grateful to have free time to spend with my husband. I'm using that for my title. And then some of these kind of dark green, um, bluey greeny things I grabbed out too. Uh, it is kind of sort of a little bit in the pattern paper in the back. So, and I'm going to layer that as well. And then, oh, and a couple hearts, I think. I get a lot of options out. I don't use many of these things because I'm going to find something actually that I liked a lot better. But I look at that circle, that's that pretty green color, and I don't end up using that. But I'm just kind of checking it out to see would this work. And I grabbed some flare out. They're a little bit more muted. That one with the pink I do not use, but those are a little bit muted, but they give the same kind of splashed color, and it is in the, believe it or not, the same color scheme as what else is going on. So I've got one for each cluster there. And then I take out these washi strips and I think, oh, I could use these as journaling spots. So you'll have seen, if you've watched my videos before, I will do strips and colored strips of paper like this. So this is like an aqua color. I'm trying to get the end straightened out. I will use these for journaling strips. So and I don't have to say a lot. We saw Craig Ferguson. We enjoyed it. It was a night out. I don't think I have too much more than that to say about it. It was at the Overture Center in Madison. But I've got these stickers, and it's just I think it's a great way to use these stickers. I had 3 that were aqua. They're different shades. That's okay. Different lengths. That works too. I usually kind of try to not get my journaling strips lined up. So it worked out kind of perfectly right there. And then I wanted something else to kind of ground the house there, as well as kind of connect them to the journaling spots and not make it look so kind of wonky. So I did find this tag in my stash. I grab it out and I flip it over and I go, look at this. Oh, yeah, I haven't flipped it over yet. I'm going to use a pokey tool to make the hole because then it's easier to get that centered. Because if I'm just poking with my hole puncher, it's hard to get it centered. And that's where I go, oh, look at the beautiful color on the other side. It doesn't match. I'm going to use it anyway. I'm going to cover that up. It's okay. It's on my layout and I like the way this looks. I will grab some twine that I have sitting by my desk to put into the tag hole there, and I will use the same twine to go into the 2 tags that are the partial tags above the photo on the left. And I always tie my tags the same way. I just kind of loop it in and then pull the string up. I am not a bow maker. I have nothing against bows, but it's just, this is quick and easy for me. That little banner says these little moments. I like how and it's a lot of that color right there, but it's the same color in the house. It's the same color in Grateful. It's all the way through the layout all around. Plus it's in those, the tag on top of the photo as well as the free time tucking piece. So a lot of the same color with lots of other colors thrown in. I end up putting this a little bit high. I think it could have come down a little bit. You wouldn't really notice that unless I told you, but once I start try to tuck those tags back in, I need to move the photos down a little bit because I wanted the tags to sit under the orange paper and not cover it up. And the way this turns out, you'll see in a moment. And maybe this is where I'm moving them down. Or maybe I'm just getting it straight. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just getting it straight. So I'm going to still have to move those photos down because you'll see there's not that much orange showing up on top. And I could have just covered up the orange, but I like the way kind of the orange frames the tag then. The one tag is overlapping on the left. Pretty soon you'll see the light bulb come on in my head saying yeah, it's too far up. And here's kind of, you can see where I kind of just tuck in and pull it from the top. And then the twine ended up uneven, so then I just trimmed the one side. I'm not going to fuss. I'm going to, you know, this is, and it's not about, I hear people say lazy scrapbooker. No, it's not about that. It's more about being like time efficient, getting things done so you can move on to the next thing, especially with these, when we do a video every day. Here you go. That's where I'm pulling down the pictures, and I'm sorry for my head, but I got to see, so. Get to when you're trying to do a layout every day, and I am not doing a layout every day. I've got lots of pictures of days that I've skipped that I will get to another month when I after I complete February and March. But you know, it's just about being time efficient and using your time wisely. So yeah, and I would say I'm also a simple scrapbooker for that same reason. I'm more plain, but I'm not afraid to try new things. So there I've got adhesive, what do you call it? Foam adhesive tape that I got the flare down. This, and all of a sudden on my desk is this Admit One. Now we're not seeing a movie, but the film strip could go on any page, and it's got Admit One ticket. So I love that. It's the same colors I'm using. But then because I brought some of the black in with the film strip, I get a little bit of black and those stars up in the left cluster and that black circle in the bottom lower cluster. And those are all from Creative Memories Showtime stickers, which are maybe not available any longer. So I apologize for that. But these are Paper Studio stickers, and they're quite loud. And I thought I would just, if I could, tuck one into each cluster. So I do. And then these foam adhesive were already on this. It's a part of a sticker set. So I just, and they weren't sticking anymore, so I just threw some liquid glue on there, and then I'm going to tuck in a couple things. Now, you'll notice, or maybe you didn't notice until I call it out, I didn't get a flare into this cluster, and so after the finishing photos are done, I will get a flare into that cluster, but you will not see it on the final layout. So thank you so much for sticking with me through the end. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon.